Cool. Do the house blend. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nathan Webb coming at you with episode 4 of the Coffee Club. It has been too long since I've done one of these, and I'm sorry for that. I have been very busy writing papers, studying, taking finals and all of that stuff, as well as hanging out with friends before the school year was officially over and summer began. So some things didn't get as much attention as I wish I could have given them, and Coffee Club was one of them. But the summer has started. I'm free to do whatever I please, and that means that some of these important little treasures of life get to come back, and that includes Coffee Club. So today we are checking out Fast and Friendly's House Blend. Fast and Friendly's is a gas station chain you've probably not heard of unless you're around Springfield. As far as I'm aware, there aren't that many of them, and it is fairly local. Now, the reason that I chose Fast and Friendly's comes from the sponsor of today's video, Miss Yesenia Aguinyaga, Miss Yeti, Miss Spaghetti, one of the lovely ladies that I work with at the preschool. That's where I got to meet her. We get to just spend a lot of time supervising kids and helping them develop some of their very fine skills. They drive us nuts and we love them to death, but yeah, so it's been really great to meet you, Yeti. I am excited to continue to work with you next year, and yeah, that's about it. So Yeti asked me to do 2 things for this video, one of which I am attempting to do and one of which I am not doing. The one that I'm not doing is using French vanilla creamer. To keep these reviews as empirical as I can and as fair, I have to use the hazelnut creamers. So I'm sorry. I did, maybe a week or 2 ago, try French vanilla creamer for the first time in my life. And it was because I knew I wasn't going to do it for this video, and it was really good. So you're definitely right. French vanilla creamer slaps. It's a good time, but I can't do it for this video just to keep things fair. The one that I am trying to do, she asked me to find a sketchy gas station. As I was attempting this, I learned that the term sketchy is definitely relative. Springfield isn't that dangerous of a place. There are definitely places that are more dangerous than others. Especially as a man, I definitely feel safer than perhaps a woman may. But there's really no place in Springfield that I feel is truly sketchy. And so I went to the stereotypically more dangerous side of town and drove around till I found a gas station, and this one wasn't that bad. And there are Fast and Friendlies on, you know, the other sides of town that I know are perfectly fine, but this one was definitely not as high quality as the ones that I have reviewed in the past. I didn't really feel like it was, you know, dangerous, but my standard for dangerous is also a little higher. I don't feel like Springfield has a hood. And the gas stations that I have been to in the hood are a little more concerning than this one. I would feel fine letting my mother walk in this one alone, but not into some other ones that I've been to. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the review. Here comes the part that I'm always worst at, which is showing the color. It is very, it's pretty dark, but there's also nothing in it. Oh yeah, that's pretty dark. Get that first sniff in there. It doesn't smell that strong, honestly. Let's waft it. Yeah, I mean, it smells all right. It smells a little bit, perhaps watered down. I don't know if you can. I guess you could probably smell if something's been watered down, but yeah. With that in mind, it seems like it's just nothing special. I haven't tasted it yet, but we can go ahead and get that out of the way right now. So here we go. This is no creamers yet. Okay, that actually has a lot more taste to it than I was expecting. The coffees that I've had at gas stations when doing these reviews that smell like this typically didn't have a ton of taste, and this one is fairly full flavored, I almost want to say. With that in mind, the flavor sucks. So I think that's probably less of a them thing and more of a I don't like black coffee thing. So we're gonna go ahead and put in hazelnut creamer number 1. Man, let me tell you, I thought every single week since Coffee Club number 3, I have been sad that I have not been able to do a coffee club. I went home for 2 weeks to where I am originally from, which is North Carolina, and I was planning on doing some coffee clubs there, and I left my freaking tripod in Missouri, so that kind of sucked. Couldn't do any. Also, I was decently busy, but yeah. So, very happy to be doing coffee clubs once again. It is fun for everybody to kind of respond to them, especially some of the more humorous comments that I get. I don't get many comments, which is understandable because this is the content that I am producing. But 1 creamer, Fast and Friendly's house blend. Let's get to it. Wow, okay, that actually changed it a bunch. I can taste the hazelnut. Normally, how it seems to go is you add a hazelnut creamer, and then it just tastes like less bitter coffee, but you don't really taste the creamer. You just like dilute the intensity of the flavor of the actual coffee, which is good because it's too much for me. So this actually, let me try that again. Yeah, I mean, like, this isn't great, but honestly, like, if I was in a pinch, needed coffee, and I literally only had 1 creamer because I had to get these creamers from another gas station. They didn't have them there. I could drink it like this. It wouldn't be good. I wouldn't enjoy it. But the fact that, yeah, that aftertaste is fine though. I've never experienced this. Yeah, okay, so it's not good. The aftertaste is definitely hazelnut, like, for sure. The aftertaste is not, oh, spilled a little bit of the creamer on my finger. The aftertaste is decent. The actual taste of it is not. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a second creamer. Put that right in there. This is a good time for me to plug the fact that the people that sponsor these videos sponsor them by Venmoing Webb NC $2. And I am running close to the end of my sponsor list. So if anybody feels compelled, feels like maybe, you know, someone is pressing on your heart the, you know, thought of donating $2 to me to buy coffee, that would be greatly appreciated. So, 2 creamers. The color didn't change that much, to be honest. I mean, it's definitely a little bit lighter. We are working with, let's put that in the sun. That's a nice shade of brown, to be honest. Yeah, it's a lighter brown, but we're not at like a khaki brown yet. It's a little darker than that. And I guess khaki kind of is a range of browns, but it's not. It'd be a darker khaki than you'd probably want to wear on your jeans. All right, 2 creamers, Fast and Friendly's house blend. Y'all. Hold up. I don't want to speak too soon. Okay, we're at a dilemma here. Oh man. Okay. The coffee that I'm drinking now is decent. It's pretty good. The problem is it might be better with 3 creamers. I don't want to add another creamer unless it's needed. But man, let me tell you, it seems like it's good as it is. I wish I just had unlimited resources and could do one with 2 and one with 3, but I'm not willing to spend the money for that. It's also a little bit wasteful. you know what? I'm going to keep it as is. I'm pretty good at talking. I would say most of these videos are filmed without cuts. And if they have cuts in them, it's because I usually talk too much, and then I have to trim the video down. It's not like I'm at a loss of what to say, but I'm shocked, honestly, because I don't find many coffees of this size, which is generally the size that I'll get if I'm, traveling on my own or making something for myself. This is usually the size that I go for, and I usually have to use 3. It's just how it is. Every now and then you get some coffee that's just trash, and I have to put in 4, and I'm mad at myself for putting myself in that situation. But this, honestly, Fast and Friendly's coffee, like just their house blend, like literally, like I walked in there and I'm like, okay, this is like old people church coffee. Like, this is gonna taste terrible. Like I went into this biased because of how their machine looked. But no, I mean, this is decent coffee. Yeah, wow, no, I'm keeping it as is. Not only am I not going to use 4 creamers, which I don't like to do, 3 is my max, I'm not going to use 3. That is literally insane. So, Fast and Friendly's coffee, heck yeah, y'all, that's pretty sweet. Let's sip on this for a little bit more and just make sure that that is the decision I want to make. Maybe I will wind up adding a 3rd. I highly doubt it at this point, just because I'm pretty sold on this. But yeah, man, all right, so yeah, let's have a chat. So I wanted to talk about something kind of lighthearted today, gentrification. So the best definition that I've seen for what gentrification is, and it's a comedic definition, is when white people move to the hood and set up cupcake shops. And as comical as that is, the reason that it's so funny and resonates so well with me, and I believe I saw that on Twitter, and everybody else who retweeted that or interacted with it, is because that's ultimately true. And so I am not a fan of the practice of gentrification. I think most people probably aren't when it's happening, and then most people turn a blind eye to it when it has happened. But this is coming from someone who enjoys just looking into the real estate of the area that I live in, and kind of enjoys looking at all of that stuff. But ultimately, I'm not an expert on the intricacies of how gentrification happens or the actual intricacies of the real estate market. So this is an uninformed, or mostly uninformed, opinion or thought, but it almost seems like gentrification in and of itself doesn't have to be bad. Now, let me explain that before people get annoyed or angry with me. It seems like if gentrification is moving to an area that is of a lower economic status and then buying properties and renovating them to then turn around and do something with them, if that is what we're going to define gentrification as, and maybe that's not all that it is, if that is gentrification, then the next step, where you've got these renovated properties in a low economic area that you got fairly cheap, the next step is either renting them out or turning them into storefronts. So if you're renting them out, theoretically, couldn't you use the concept of gentrification in a positive way by buying a lot of properties that are run down and maybe condemned or just of really low structural quality, fixing them and then renting them at either roughly the price it would have been rented at before, or renting out at a slightly higher price? I don't think that that is something people will do, because that's kind of something that you'd have to do out of the goodness of your heart and not, for economic benefit. But theoretically, wouldn't that be a good thing? That's not what most gentrification is like. I would venture to say that most all gentrification is probably bad and not done with others in mind. But theoretically, couldn't you do that? Now again, I don't know all of the intricacies of gentrification or of the real estate market, but the area that I live in is has one of the lowest costs of living in the entire United States. And there are a lot of jobs available in Springfield, Missouri, but none of them are high paying, or the vast majority of them are not high paying. And so you have a lot of people that work full-time, 40, 60 hours a week, and still struggle because there's not a lot of opportunity available here. A lot of the people that are living here are renting in one way or another, be it an apartment or a house, and most of the people that own things either own them in the areas that are more affluent of Springfield, or own things and are essentially landlords and then rent them out. So this is something that I kind of see in my area where, I had the thought while I was driving around trying to find a gas station, because there are a lot of areas with just, boarded up windows and things that are falling down, and just all of these messed up houses. If you were to buy these and renovate them and bring them up to code, kind of increase the quality of them, make them look nicer, and then rent those out at a price that wouldn't be, skyrocketing it compared to what it would have been, wouldn't that be a good thing? And again, I don't know, but that's just a thought that I've been having. I've been tracking the real estate in Springfield and looking at all of the houses that are for sale that are under $30,000, and the median house price in Springfield is not that high, but houses that are under $30,000, and they're all trashed. Most of them you couldn't legally live in or rent out. But I was looking at them and I'm thinking, this would be a really easy way to get yourself into the real estate game, is to buy these houses, because they're not that expensive, and fix them up and then rent them either to college students or to families that live in Springfield, more than just whenever they're in college. And then within the last, I'd say 15 days, all of them, except for 2, all of them got purchased. I'm talking like 15 houses. So, gentrification is on my mind because I'm wondering if that is what's happening to a lot of areas of Springfield. And I'm wondering if there is a positive way to do it. So yeah, I would love to know everyone else's opinions. I can only imagine that the people watching this don't know a ton about real estate or gentrification. So we're all roughly in the same boat, but that's just, one man's thoughts as he observes changes in the city that he lives in. So, yeah, this coffee is pretty good. Oh my gosh, it cooled down a little bit, and now I can taste more of the actual flavor and less of the fact that it's hot. Because if something's really hot, you taste the temperature. That sounds weird, but it's not. We all know what I'm talking about. And now that it's cooled down a bit, it tastes even better than it did earlier. No way I'm putting another creamer in here. So that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna be honest. The fact that I only needed 2 creamers for this coffee is just absolutely nuts. It's literally just like a gas station. I spent less than $2 on this. It's like $1.80. So yeah, that's just wild. This is definitely, gosh, I have to think about how to rate it. This gets a 4 out of 5. It's not like if I got this kind of coffee at a coffee shop, I might be a little bit disappointed, but the quality of this is vastly superior to a lot of what I have tasted when doing this or just when traveling. This is pretty good. So yeah, I think a 4 out of 5 is how I'm gonna have to land. It's good. It's really good. But I know that ceiling it does get higher. I have had better. So, man, this is awesome. So once again, thank you to Miss Yesenia Aguinyaga, Miss Yeti, Miss Spaghetti for sponsoring today's video. It means a lot. This has been Fast and Friendly's House Blend, 4 out of 5. I'm so good to be back, everybody. So don't forget, you can sponsor a video by Venmoing $2 to NWebNC. Just $2 and that'll do it. If you have any specific gas stations you want me to go to, I will make that happen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's been real. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day.